She does not love you, she never loved you. She only needed you to believe that she did. Does it hurt? Good. Pain is the only teacher that never lies. Look at your reflection. Do you see that good man? That polite gentleman who opens doors for her, who tells her she is beautiful every morning? That man is invisible to her. Worse than invisible, he is predictable. And in the secret language of female desire, predictable means death. There is a monster inside every woman, written deep into her DNA, a monster even she does not fully understand, a monster that makes her despise the man who adores her and crave the one who ignores her. Do you know why women say they want a sensitive man yet end up with the one who makes them cry? It is not masochism, it is biology. For millions of years, the women who survived were those who chose the warrior, not the poet, the hunter, not the philosopher, the man who could kill for her, not the one who would die for her. And that ancient program still runs every single day. You believe love is communication, tenderness, understanding. She says she believes it too, but she lies. Her body does not lie when it responds to the man who challenges her, who confronts her, who does not need her. Have you noticed how her eyes sparkle when she talks about the ex who treated her badly? How her voice softens when she mentions the arrogant boss everyone despises? That glow is not trauma, it is raw desire. The monster she seeks is not violent, not abusive. It is far more subtle and dangerous. He is unpredictable. He is the man who cannot be tamed, categorized, or controlled. And you? You are an open book. She knows your next move, your next word, your every reaction. You are safe. You are stable. You are everything she says she wants. And for that exact reason, you are everything her biology rejects. Schopenhauer said love is the species deceiving itself to keep going, but he stopped short. Love is not only deception, it is war. And in that war, the civilized man always loses. Do you know what a woman really means when she asks for emotional connection? She wants to feel, not think, feel. And the strongest feelings do not come from safety. They come from risk, from uncertainty, from controlled danger. The monster she longs for is the man who makes her doubt. Does he love me? Does he not? Will he call? Is he with another? That roller coaster is more addictive than any drug. And you, with your unconditional love and full availability, are forced rehabilitation. You are methadone when she craves heroin. Napoleon conquered Europe but could not conquer Josephine. Why? Because he needed her more than she needed him. He wrote desperate letters from the battlefield while she slept with others in Paris. The emperor of the world reduced to an emotional beggar. Familiar? Of course. Because you have begged too. Begged for crumbs of attention while she served feasts to those who never even asked. The monster never begs. The monster is hungry, yes, but not for her. He is hungry for conquest, for purpose, for power. And that hunger, the one she cannot satisfy, is what drives her mad. Women are not masochists. They are unconscious, evolutionary strategists. Their biology drives them to the man whose attention is rare, because rarity is value. If your attention is free, endless, unconditional, then it is worth nothing. Desire follows the law of economics. Remember when you were a child and wanted the toy you could not have, how badly you desired it. And remember how quickly you forgot it once it was yours? That is you, available, predictable, forgettable. The monster is the toy behind the glass, always visible, never fully in reach. Hobbes said, "Man is a wolf to man." He was wrong. Man becomes a lamb to woman when he forgets he was born a wolf. Do you want to know why your relationship died? Stop asking what you did wrong. Ask instead, what did you stop doing right? What? You stopped being dangerous. Not dangerous in the physical sense, but dangerous in the existential sense. You stopped being a force of nature and became just another piece of furniture in the house. Comfortable, useful, ignorable. The monster she craves has 3 traits you have lost, or perhaps never had.
First, a purpose greater than her. The monster does not live for her. She is a pleasurable addition to his life, not the center of it. He has a mission, an obsession, a conquest to pursue. She knows it, she feels it, and she is aroused by the idea of being the woman of such a man, not the life project of an empty one. Second, the ability to say no. When was the last time you said no to something important? When did you put your needs above hers? The monster says no naturally, without guilt, without justification. Every no is an involuntary aphrodisiac. Third, emotional mystery. You pour out your feelings like a teenager in his first love. The monster holds silences she aches to fill. It is not calculated coldness, it is instinctive emotional economy. Aristotle spoke of potential and act. You are pure act, everything expressed, consumed, finished. No potential, no mystery, no territory left to conquer. The monster is pure potential, contained energy that could explode at any moment but chooses not to. That tension between what he could do and what he chooses not to do is what keeps her on edge. Have you noticed how she behaves with the man who does not reply instantly? How she checks her phone again and again? How every single message from him is worth 100 of yours? It is not that he is better than you. It is that he understands, consciously or not, that female desire thrives on tension, not satisfaction. You kill all tension. You reply in seconds. You are endlessly available. You are a running faucet of attention and affection. And then you wonder why she prefers to die of thirst rather than drown in your ocean. Nietzsche declared, God is dead. But he forgot to add, and with him died the last man women could respect. The modern monster is not the gym alpha who mistakes muscles for masculinity. That is just another lamb in disguise. The true monster is subtle, lethal. He is the man who can destroy but chooses to build, who can hurt but chooses to heal. But she knows, deep down, that he could destroy. That latent power excites her. Why do you think women fantasize about vampires, mafia bosses, dangerous men tamed? It is not the violence itself, it is the contained power. The beast who chooses to be a prince, but who could become a beast again if required. You have no beast. You killed it years ago, sacrificed it on the altar of the modern, sensitive man. You gave it up for acceptance, love, validation, and with it, your deepest attractiveness died. Women smell weakness the way sharks smell blood. Not consciously, not with malice. It is evolutionary survival. A woman cannot trust her life or her children's lives to a man who cannot even protect himself. Protect himself from what? In the 21st century, not from bears or invaders, but from mediocrity, from conformity, from spiritual death, from living without purpose. The monster guards himself from all of that with a ferocity she recognizes and desires. Look at how women react to men obsessed with their work, their art, their mission. They criticize. They complain that these men don't give enough attention, but they do not leave. They never leave. Because deep down, they know being with a man who has something more important than them is the greatest privilege a woman can have. It is paradoxical. She wants to be the most important thing in your life. But if she succeeds, she will despise you. That is the trap you fell into. You made her your entire world. And by doing so, you revealed that your world was very small. So small, it fit in her hands. So small, she could crush it any time. The monster has a world so vast, she can barely take it in with her eyes. And she spends her life trying to conquer more of that world, knowing she will never conquer it all. That is the difference between you and the monster. You gave her a conquered kingdom. He offers her an eternal war. And which do you think she prefers? Biology does not lie. Culture does. And you have believed every cultural lie about what women want. Women want equality? A lie. They want a man they can admire upward, not sideways. Women want emotional vulnerability. A half-truth. They want to see it, but not live in it. They want to know you can feel, not that your feelings control you. Women want a best friend. The biggest lie of all. They already have girlfriends for that. From you, they want something else entirely.
You cannot give her what no friend can, sexual polarity. The monster understands that female attraction works through polarity. Masculine and feminine are not social inventions. They are opposite magnetic forces that clash and attract violently. You have neutralized your polarity. You have become emotionally androgynous, not masculine enough, fearing you'll be toxic, not feminine enough, fearing you'll seem weak. You are the dead zone where no current flows. The monster is pure current, high voltage, dangerous to touch, but impossible to ignore. Do you know why women constantly test men? Little provocations, pointless drama, irrational demands? It is not cruelty, it is a polarity check. They are testing if you are still a man, or if you have already become just another girlfriend with a penis. And you? You fail every test. You give in, you apologize, you seek peace at any cost. With each failure, her desire withers a little more. The monster does not chase conflict, but he is never afraid of it. When she presses, he becomes immovable, not with violence, but with the calm of a man who has nothing to prove. There is a scene repeated in millions of bedrooms. She starts a fight over nothing. He tries to reason, to calm, to fix. The fight drags on. He surrenders for peace. She turns her back in bed, dry as the desert. Now imagine the same scene with the monster. She starts the fight. He looks at her, smiles, and returns to what he was doing. She follows, shouting. He grabs her by the waist, stares into her eyes without a word, and kisses her. End of fight. Beginning of desire. What is the difference? The first man negotiates from weakness, the second acts from strength. Women do not truly want to win these battles. They want proof. They are with a man who could win them all, but who chooses his battles wisely. They want the monster who could devour them, but lets them live. Do you want to know the darkest secret of female desire? It is not that they want to be dominated. It is that they want to choose who they allow to dominate them. And they do not choose you because your dominance is fake, a pose, a trick borrowed from cheap seduction manuals. The monster does not pretend dominance. He embodies it. First, over himself, he dominates his impulses, his fears, his need for validation. From that self-mastery, everything else flows naturally. You cannot even control your urge to check her Instagram every hour. Hierarchy exists whether you admit it or not. In every human interaction, someone leads, someone follows, and in your relationship, even if you are CEO, rich, tall, she leads. How do I know? Because the one who needs more always loses power, and you need her like air. She feels it, smells it, uses it. The monster flips the equation, not because he does not feel, he feels deeply, but his life does not depend on those feelings. He can love and lose and still remain himself. That emotional self-sufficiency is the strongest aphrodisiac in existence. Whoever loves more suffers more, said some suicidal poet. He was right, but his conclusion was wrong. The answer is not to stop loving, it is to love from abundance, not from lack. You love like a beggar, desperate, grateful for crumbs, terrified to lose the little you have. The monster loves like a king, generous because he can afford generosity, selective because he has options, calm because he knows if one woman leaves, others will arrive. Not arrogance, reality. The man who builds himself, who has purpose, who never begs for validation, will always have options. And women know it. They sense it. They compete to be chosen by him. While you compete with every man on earth for a woman who no longer desires you, nature is wise and cruel. It rewards strength and punishes weakness. And the greatest weakness is not financial or physical. It is emotional. It is needing too much. It is being unable to stand alone. It is defining yourself by who loves you instead of by who you are. The monster is comfortable in his own skin, alone or accompanied, loved or rejected. His value does not rise and fall with the stock market of her moods. Yours does. spiking and crashing like Bitcoin on panic days. There was one exact moment you lost. You can trace it if you're honest. The moment you stopped being her lover and became her emotional son. It was the moment you began asking for permission instead of informing her of. Do you know what the cruelest irony is? The more you chase her, the faster she runs. The more you need her, the less she desires you. The more you love her in your needy, desperate way, the more she despises you. Because women are not attracted to dependence. They are drawn to strength, to a man who stands complete, even without them. A man who does not beg for attention but commands it simply by existing as his truest self. The monster does not run after her shadow. He walks in his own light, and she is drawn like a moth to that flame. Understand this. The more you make her your center, the more you lose your own. And when you lose your center, you lose the very thing she was attracted to in the first place. Women do not want to mother a man. They want to be swept into the orbit of a man who already has a world of his own. The monster does not ask, will she stay if I do this? He simply does, and she either follows or she doesn't. And that freedom, the willingness to let go, terrifies women and enslaves weak men. Here lies the final truth. She never truly left you for another man. She left you because you left yourself. She left the spark, the danger, the fire that once burned inside you. She left the man who once lived with ambition and replaced him with the boy who lived for her approval. The monster is free. Free to love her or leave her. Free to include her or exclude her. Free to be himself without asking permission or forgiveness. That freedom is terrifying for an emotionally castrated man like you, but for a woman tired of crawling men, it is pure narcotic. She will always crave it. And if you do not become it, she will keep searching for it in someone else. So ask yourself now, will you remain the ghost of who you once were, begging for scraps of attention? Or will you awaken the monster within, untamed, unpredictable, alive? The choice is yours. And remember, she does not want your need, she wants your fire.